Alright everybody, what's up? It is time to talk about Shokugeki no Soma, episode 22. Now, of course, this is not a live reaction, this is a review, as you can tell. If you want to know what's happening with that, there's a video that should be out alongside this video, explaining why there's no live reaction. So, with that said, let's get into this episode. This friggin' awesome episode. Now, I will get to Megumi Tadakoro at the end. But first, let's talk about, I guess we'll start at the beginning with, there was Isami, and, we saw Hojo at the very end, sort of that tail end of where she got her 87 points, with the whole pineapple thing, which was a really cool idea. The fact that she baked the curry inside the pineapple. That was really cool. I mean, and of course, like all the science behind it, where it was like coated with seasoning, so it wouldn't like dry out and shit. It was like, wow, that was kind of sick. And so yeah, and then Isami getting the same points with a calzone, uh, which was pretty cool. Because calzones obviously Italian dish that we get a lot here in the U.S. A lot of Italian restaurants make that, but to use that with Japanese curry, not necessarily Indian curry, but the Japanese curry sort of really bridges that gap between the Japanese and the Italian cuisine. I would say more so than what happens with Takumi. I mean, Takumi fundamentally had the better dish, but Isami, I think, did a better job of bridging Italian and Japanese cuisine creatively. And I think they even noted that in the very beginning. Like, the creation was much more creative on Isami's part. Because, I mean, stuffed pasta is honestly, it's not nothing new or nothing like unique. And I hate stuffed pasta. Can't say it. You don't put cheese. I'm sorry, you don't put cheese on pasta. That's just me. I know a lot of people do it, but I fucking hate cheese on pasta unless it's macaroni and cheese. I mean, that's the only exception. Otherwise, put, oh God, just stop. I'm gonna stop now. Um, but, but yeah, Takami's dish, of course. Um, using the Parmesan, and I'm assuming it's homemade pasta, of course. Otherwise, it would fail if it was boxed pasta. So I mean, I guess that does take definitely a certain amount of skill to do a three-layered pasta with cheese, like Parmesan cheese in the middle, homemade completely, like from scratch and shit. So I will give it up to him for that. And I thought like the flashback was really well done because obviously Isami always thinks he is inferior, which I mean individually yes, but when it comes down to the wire, it's all about Trattori Aldini. I think that's how you say it. And the restaurant needs both of them to succeed. They're basically two halves of a perfected whole, essentially. Not really perfected, but that's what Takumi was getting at, and he's absolutely correct. Um, the the Mezzaluna is pretty much what is designed for like two people and shit. So like that. Well, at least it's designed where it can be used by two people if needed. Uh, but I mean, you can use one person can use the Mezzaluna, obviously. So anyway, um, moving on. I mean, Yoshino Yuki. I mean, she's obviously pretty good. I thought it was pretty funny how they were like blushing because of her charm. She's just like this cute little girl who just like charms everybody. Um, I guess that's like her thing, and the whole hunter thing is just because if you recall, she had like wild animals just running amok in Polar Star Dorm, early on in the anime, like episode 3 or so, and it was pretty hilarious. So I'm assuming she raised that shit herself, which is why it was as fresh as it was. What else? Yeah, so Yoshino did really well, but unfortunately not as good as Hojo or Isami. Not that either of them passed anyway, but yeah, so props to her because obviously she was in a league of giants, so to speak. Um, let's see, and of course we covered Hisako and we covered Nao from last week, and now let's talk about the four that besides Hisako, which is we have Takumi. I talked about Takumi. So then the last two, Alice and Tadakuro. So Alice having the highest score of that of Block B, of course, with the molecular gastronomy, because this is just a taste of her cooking. What Alice's cooking really is? It's um, all about science. Everything is a science, and everything is very precise. Everything is neat and just like calculated to the bone, basically. And so, Alice has just like the image they gave her was, a scientist, of course, because we haven't really seen her equipment. I don't think we did. I'm not sure that we saw her equipment in the manga, but you'll see like her equipment a little bit later on, whether it's whether it's in this season or next season. You'll see just exactly how she cooks and how it's like how precise everything is. Um, so I guess I won't say too much now, but um, yeah, it's pretty crazy once you actually see like her equipment and what she does. It's very fascinating, and of course she's hilarious. She just went right up to the table without even being called. It was just like, "Yep, I'm just gonna go for it." So I thought it was very hilarious how they all thought it was over before Tadakuro went in because they forgot she was even there, even after she did the whole butchering of the monkfish uh, show right in front of them. But let's get to the main event. And yes, it is the main event because that the way they did that flashback was absolutely perfect. It was perfect between the music, just the animation, the voice acting, everything worked so well because you can just see the heart in it. You can feel it. The like not the, it's not like the feels like I mean there are feels in it, but you can just tell the heart that's put into that scene, you know? It's like she's worked so hard and she wants to help out, the old man and she wants to help out everybody from her country bumpkin town. I don't remember exactly what town it is, but she wants to help them. But she's been given this opportunity to see the world, basically, and she failed a lot. And funny enough, I didn't mention Soma at all in this episode when it came to her. But there's the scene with her crying over while she was making a dish because it's just so overwhelming. Just everything that came together uh, with all the guys being there cheering for her, everything came everything came together with that moment where she got the 88 points, and it's just like you cannot sit there and not feel like ridiculously happy for her. In the manga, it was more of a relief for me. In the anime, I'm like, let's go, let's fucking go, because and the style in which it was presented perfectly represents her character, where Soma gets a hype victory, uh, Megumi gets a heartfelt and uh, sort of I want to say soft, but yeah, sort of like this soft, dramatic type of win. so to speak, where Soma will show like some kind of hype, and it's just like yeah, yeah. Where Megumi, you're just like you go, girl, because all of this like the mellow type of drama, where it's just beautiful. Um, it just fit her character perfectly. The type of win she received, uh, and you can see that Hojo is reflecting on that. It's hard to find the right words to say. I know I'm like tripping up here. It's hard to find the right words to say because it was executed so well. Similar to how the writer could not exactly digest and comprehend what he had just eaten when it came to Alice's dish. I feel like it's the same way with how well they did Megumi scene. Um, yeah, so I was ridiculously happy for her. So your four from Block B, we have Alice at number one, Hisako at number two. Uh, all of a sudden, oh, Takumi at number three, and Megumi at number four. So now we have no idea what's going on in Block A yet. I mean, I do, but you know, anime only watchers, you guys have no idea what's going on yet because this chick, the other sister, has been giving nothing but zeros to people, and so eventually, she's gonna have to stop giving zeros, obviously. Um, and so Kurokiba's up first, and we'll see what's up there. So, um, yeah, that's gonna be it. This was a fantastic episode, especially for Megumi. I think that was the main event of this episode. Uh, it was by far the best part, most well executed, and adapted. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching or listening, and see you guys next week.